Okay, I don't remember any of those that English.
I don't like the leadership.
Philadelphia lost their first game.
It's better to Washington than Dallas or New York.
Is that right?
Yeah. They don't want to get balanced in it. Try and think of the morning.
Oh, yeah.
It's not going to be one.
Shabbat shalom, everybody. We are going to begin our service. So please have your tongue ready to go. Welcome to those of you who have joined us on live stream. Those of you who are here in person. So we shall begin. Let us sing the bracha together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'hit amateh b'tzisi. And you may be seated. We begin our service on page 14. Page 15. Dear Bama And we continue on page 16. It's The Lord said to Moses, speak to the children of Israel and bid them to make seed in the corners of the garments of their tents, putting upon the seed and each corner of its head a loop. When you look upon the seed, you will be reminded of all the commandments. You will not be led astray by or by the attraction of your eyes. Thus will you be reminded to fulfill all my commandments and be consecrated to your God. I am the Lord your God who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am the Lord and your God. Azod, Azod, Shivachu Ahuvim, Viromemu, 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 Venatenu, Venatenu, Yedidim, Venatenu, Venatenu, Yedidim, Zmirach, Shirach, Vetishbachot, Verachot, Vehodachot, Lemelech Elchai V'Kayam, Ram V'Nisa, Gadol V'Olam, Mashvil Gehim, U'Matzliach Shefatim, Motzi Asirim Faten Anavi Yoser Gali, V'Yonel Yam, Shalom. Tehillah le'el Elyon v'Baruch u'Barak Shepnei Yisrael Shira Simcha Rabba Yamru Kulam Mi Avot Avoy Madonai Mi Avot Edar Bakodesh Yorah Tehillah Shira Chadasha Shiva Fugilim Mishpat Hayam Yachat Lamadudim Lichvi Amaru Nai Yimlov we come to the point in a certain form of showing you before and then finally for years. And we're going to begin it's anniversary Shabbat, but I don't see anybody who's celebrating the anniversary in November. Am I forgetting anybody? Anybody celebrating? Raise your hand if you're celebrating the November anniversary. Because we only had two share notes, and I don't see them join us. Okay, so we'd like to share publicly, either on the wall or in person, what we are thankful for on this Thanksgiving week.
Well, I'm very grateful and blessed that we have a lovely breakfast kids and Max, our grandson, and it's just so joyful. Very much participating in services for the whole family together.
So we just turn this so that people at home can see who's here. Who else like to share what we're thankful for? He's throwing it all up. I'm thankful I made it to this chair. It's really, well, 20 minutes ago. Beginning.
I'm grateful for the time I had with this. Takes care of me. But we're thankful because it's Thanksgiving. Our son and brother-in-law from Fort Myers, Florida, will be here, and he'll be here tonight to roast the turkey, stuff the turkey, carve the turkey, and you can eat. And I'm especially thankful on Friday that I will be with our two sons and hopefully our grandson if he's not working. And the four of us for the first time together will be playing golf.
And we'll be celebrating his birthday on Thanksgiving.
Happy birthday,
That's
Lou. That's nice. Who else like to show them the thankful for?
I'm just thankful for the congregation of last Shabbat sharing some fun with us. We would have introduced our granddaughter into the church. That was a lot. So,
Who else would like to share? Yeah.
We're thankful that Marla and Bob have two more doors. Now we're up to nine doors and 6 ways.
Who else would like to share? Okay, Stan, you're going to share. I'm sorry, thank you. On the wall, who would like to share? Ray. Make sure that you're mute. You can't unmute? Are you unmuted? She's on the bottom middle. Ray, hang on a second because we can't hear you.
Okay,
There we go.
thank you. Yes. First of all, I'm so glad for this technology. Today we couldn't come in person, but it's so nice to see everyone. And I also wanted to wish all the people who have November births, and including Lou Silverman and Armand, who both are celebrating birthdays on the 22nd. And I wanted to say that as we're speaking, Renee is on her way back to the United States from Japan. Her flight will be landing much, much later today. And we were able to talk to her a couple of times, and along with texts. And Mazel Tov again, Rabbi and Bonnie, on your grandson's bar mitzvah.
Thank you, Ray. Who else would like to share what you are thankful for? Phyllis.
I'd like to publicly thank my husband, Stan, for all the help he's given me during my recovery from the shoulder surgery. He's gone way beyond the call of duty and taken over so many responsibilities, and I appreciate it.
Thank you, Phyllis. Who else would like to share what you are thankful for? Give a wave. Who else in the house or on the wall would like to share? Okay. So, Stan Schroeder is trying to share.
Thank you, Philip, for thank you for what I do, which I'm more than happy and grateful to do. I appreciate so much the family that I have, the actual biological family, and also the Shir Ami family. They both mean such a great deal to me that it's my pleasure and my honor. Phyllis had a shoulder replacement surgery 9 days ago now. I was on a Thursday. She came home the next day on Friday and has been doing well. She's still on pain medication, some, and gets tired very easily. It's just draining to recover. The body just takes so much of the energy in recovering from these things. But we have Thanksgiving coming up, and I wanted to say a few words about that before that's my main subject. Those of you who read the Shir notes, to any degree, there was an article that I put in there that I had got from actually the Aish website about Jews and Thanksgiving and how Thanksgiving came about. That is, in the Jews, what Jewish traditions went into it. Well, there's another aspect that I didn't include in that, and that's what's happening now, or what happened, let's say, in the 20th century. We know that one tradition of the Thanksgiving here is a parade. Tell me what parade that your Macy's parade in New York is now celebrated, throughout the country, maybe throughout the world, as a tradition. But Macy's was not the first to have a parade like that. There was another family who was in the department store business at the same time, and born in 1817 in Bavaria. Does anyone know a Jewish family that had Gimbals? There was the first Gimbal moved to America, where he worked as a dockhand in 1817 and a traveling peddler. He soon gained a sterling reputation as a scrupulously honest businessman who treated all people fairly, no matter what their background. Gimbal founded Gimbal Department Store in Milwaukee. He later expanded to Philadelphia, and after his death, his sons moved Gimbal's further, opening a store in New York City. In 1920, Bernard Gimbal, Adam's grandson, held the first Thanksgiving Day parade, sponsoring a huge spectacle that marched from the Philadelphia Museum of Art to Gimbal's department store at 8th and Market Street. Each year until the last Gimbal's parade, which was in 1986, the department store sponsored Philadelphia's annual Thanksgiving parade. And Macy's started theirs in 1924. They were second, but they're still going. So in 1910, Gimbal convinced his family to open a department store in New York City. He convinced the family to list Gimbal's on the New York Stock Exchange, with the family maintaining controlling interest. He purchased a controlling interest also in Saks Fifth Avenue for $8 million from Forrest Saks. So there's a lot more. 1924, he brought the parade, which his family had sponsored in Philadelphia since 1920, to New York City. Okay. And lastly, at the last Shabbat Torah study, which was last Saturday at our home, we talked about Thanksgiving, and I recited a Thanksgiving prayer from Rabbi David Wolfman on Hanukkah and Thanksgiving. Grateful for our gifts and grateful for our past, we cherish our spiritual inheritance. The pilgrims who journeyed, the Maccabees who fought, the generations who struggled and sacrificed to preserve their memory. As Americans and Jews, dear God, we are doubly blessed, given so long a legacy to celebrate in so sublime a land. So we light a candle, set the table, say our prayers, and declare the miracles of our tradition, our freedom, and our future. We dedicate ourselves to this so that we might be worthy of the greatness bequeathed to us and merit the joy of handing it on to generations.
Thank you, Stan. Let us all rise as we prepare to offer our own private prayers. Sur Israel, Kumadi Ezra Israel, today Inumeha Yehuda Israel. Hallelujah, the God of Israel, fire of Adam. Please, We have come to our Torah service, page 19 of the page. We got some honors. Whose turn is it to carry the Torah through the congregation? Lou, thank you. Who would like to be honor of Hagba, picking up the Torah? Mo, who would like the honor of Galila, wrapping the Torah? Paula, thank you. And we continue our service then on page 19. Hey, come on, Elohim, Adonai, We remain standing for our communal aliyah. The Torah portion is Hayei Sarah. Even though it's called the life of Sarah, we know that she dies in the first couple of sentences. Bonnie's going to be reading those sentences. But we also don't realize that at the end of the Torah portion, Abraham dies. So we have two significant deaths in the Torah portion, and we have a shidduch. We have a match. As after Sarah dies, Abraham realizes somebody has to be chosen for his son as a mate, and sends what many believe to be his second in command, Eliezer, to find a wife for him. So all of that is in our Torah portion this Shabbat, which we're going to read. Hayei Sarah, these points right here. We join together in the bracha. Baruch hu Adonai haborah, Baruch Adonai Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu asher natan Torah tefen Maybe seated. I'm not going to talk about this morning's Torah portion. I'm going to talk about this afternoon's Torah portion. And the reason is because this afternoon's Torah portion is also going to be read on Monday and Thursday. Thursday is Thanksgiving. And I think that the Torah portion that we read Thanksgiving morning is going to be particularly relevant to lessons that we can learn about Thanksgiving and about how we can properly celebrate Thanksgiving. I think it has a wonderful Thanksgiving message. And is a way of introducing the Torah portion for this afternoon and for Thanksgiving Day, which is called Toldot. I once heard on the radio a group of family siblings who had learned how to play instruments and performed. There were 6 of them, and they performed a classical piece, each playing a different instrument relative to the needs of the piece itself. And they played absolutely magnificently. So this was on the radio. And when the piece was over, I remember that the host mused nature or nurture. He said they are born with talent, but their parents exposed them to music and encouraged their musicianship. And so the host said, well, nature or nurture, it must be both. Not only nature, what we are born with, but it must be nurtured. And the reason that this is a way of introducing the Torah portion for this afternoon and for this week is because that's what the Torah portion deals with, the question of nature versus nurture. It is the birth of twins. And yet these 2 twins, Esau and Isaac, and they grow up to be very, very different. Esau becomes a man of the field, Isaac becomes a man of the library. One becomes a scholar, the other becomes a hunter. And despite the fact that they're raised essentially exactly the same. Well, of course, not exactly the same. One becomes the favorite of one parent, the other becomes the favorite of another. That certainly is going to have an effect a little bit about how they're going to be turning out. But we still have, suggested by the Torah portion, this debate. Is it nature or is it nurture? And so I really want to see if I can apply this debate and this question to Thanksgiving, because I think that we need to be thankful for both. And I'm going to share with you why we need to be thankful for both and how we can incorporate them into our Thanksgiving experience. Certainly, we have to be thankful for the nurture. We have to be thankful for the gifts with which we have been born. Each of us have unique abilities. Whether they're talents or whether they're virtues. And for example, many people can't carry a tune. If you can carry a tune, I'm losing you. Or are they? Who's coming in now? Oh, okay. I feel like singing "Hello, Mother." Actually, I feel like singing something from the Book of Mormon. That would be more. We can be thankful for whatever it is that we have been born with, and we can celebrate that. If you can read a book from cover to cover in a short period of time and then move on to another book, You should be thankful for that because a lot of people have not been born with the ability to read so consistently and with so much focus. If you have good health or if you have a pleasant disposition, then we need to be thankful for these things because in a lot of cases, we have been born with these values, with these virtues, and they are gifts that we very well may have received at birth. My big challenge all of my life has been trying to figure out, well, how do we know what we were born with? How do we know what the special qualities are that we have that we may have remained uncovered? I remember when I was a student at UCLA, I originally thought that I was born to be a doctor until I took I took chemistry at UCLA, Remember that? And then I realized I was not born to be a doctor. But I didn't know what I was born to be. And so at UCLA, they used to have this huge building. Maybe some of you heard this story before. They used to have this huge building to hold a computer. It was a computer building, and they had a program where you could go and there was a staff there that could help guide students as to try to determine what is the profession that they should go into. What are they born with that would lead them to a profession that they could thrive? And they had this whole series of questions that they then had to fill out, and then they fed it into this huge computer, which is what I did. And I was answering these questions, some very, very interesting questions, trying to determine what I should be. And there were interspersed amongst a lot of these questions, I began to see something of a series of questions that seemed to be related. Questions like, do you like to be with people? Do you like to help people? Are you compassionate? Are you moved by the pain of others? And I was answering these questions, and then I gave them all these cards, and then we had to fill it in, and then they took these huge cards and they put them in the machine, and the staff, a person who was going to give me the results, to come back in a couple of days. That's how he was for the computer to spit out the answer. I came back a few days later and I sat down with the counselor. And I said, so what am I good at? What can I become? She said, well, looking through all of your answers, you may want to consider becoming a funeral director. But think of it, all of those answers would lead us to think that you can help people during this time of need. But I always wondered, of course, I kind of became a funeral director, at least part of the work that I do, but I've always wondered, wouldn't it be nice for there to be some eventually, and maybe eventually there will be something like this, some kind of a system, some kind of a way that you truly can determine what you have been born with. Because I believe that there are people who in their lifetime may allow talents and abilities to go unrecognized by themselves because they never pick up a flute to see if they can play. They never try to write a poem. They never try to write a screenplay. They never try to run a marathon. They never try things that would have uncovered some of their latent talents and abilities. So how can we do this? How can we uncover our talents and our abilities? Well, I think that we've got to be able to figure out a way to find it. So in my retirement, it's actually not retirement, it's redirection. Somebody once told me to retire is to remove yourself from everything. And that's not what retirement is supposed to be all about. It should be trying to maybe now take this opportunity in our life to uncover the talents that we have that maybe we can eventually do something with. So what is it that we can do with? How do we discover this? So Bonnie and I are going to start taking golf lessons. I'm going to start taking golf lessons. And Bonnie's going to follow me around the golf course in the cart. Maybe we'll take other lessons. Maybe I'll try to pick up a different instrument. Maybe there are ways in which we can uncover. I remember Grandma Moses didn't begin painting until very, very late in life. And I was able to meet another man whose name was Lieberman, who discovered in his 90s that he had this remarkable ability to paint, and he began to paint well into his late 90s. Kind of ran out of time because he discovered it so late. But the question then is, after we have gone into this period of exploration to determine, do we have talents and abilities that have gone hidden, and we now discover them, what do we do with it now? Well, now we have to nurture. Now we have to figure out a way in which we can apply ourselves to figuring out how this can be developed. And that brings me to the second component of Thanksgiving. The first is to be thankful for what we're born with. But the second is to be thankful for those people who helped us to nurture whatever it was that we were born with. Whatever it was that when we were young, we did this stuff. We did realize. And to thank those people who made us continue to go to college, or made us continue to take those piano lessons, or who inspired us to continue to find ways in which we can deeply develop whatever it was that was a talent that we were born with. And so when I think about the big football game this afternoon, USC versus UCLA, on that field are going to be people who exhibit both qualities. We're going to have talented athletes who were born with not only the physical ability to play the game of tackle football, but also the ability to throw the ball, to run, to tackle, everything that's involved in order to be able to become a good football player. But then you needed the coaches, and you needed the parents, and you needed the friends who were there with you as you continued to develop your talent. You needed the nurturers. So this is what my suggestion is. To think about those people who lifted us up. To think about the people who carried us through when the time came that maybe we didn't want to do it anymore. To make sure that we celebrate those people in our lives who were the nurturers. So if you do what we do in our family, and a lot of families I know do this, you go around the table and everybody has an opportunity to share what is it that you are thankful for. We always have that litany of, I'm thankful for my family, my friends, and my health. And I want us to add 2 more words, and I'm going to do it at my Thanksgiving. I want to be thankful for nature that gave me whatever abilities I have at the day that I was born. And I want to thank the nurturers, those people who inspired me, who compelled me, who influenced me, who were there to be the wind beneath my wings, to make sure that whatever the nature was that was given to me, they were the nurturers. Let's thank the nature, the nurturers on Thanksgiving. And with that, we are now going to express what we are going to. Did you want to add a name? Oh, sure.
Thank you to Kevin for putting together for you. I also took the picture when I was further reading on the scientific study that I was going to have.
So we can be thankful for those people who showed us the error of our ways and directed us. Thank you. Anybody else want to just share either nature or nurture stories about people in your life? Okay.
It's giving me a lot of definition of so level.
Well, I wanted to say that I think that Shir Ami has given me the opportunity in my retirement years to use talents that I have and developed. My college years were spent at the UCLA band.
I also took chemistry 1A at UCLA, taught by Dr. Kenneth Trueblood, who at the time was the dean of the College of Letters and Science. And on my first exam, I got first test, I got a 72, and then I had talked to the teaching assistant and explained my work into him, and that he raised it to a 98. Yeah, but it all fell apart at the second exam.
Thank you. By the way, the only reason I passed that is because my life did miserably in all the exam. I was really on the labs. Because there you're baking and you're cooking and you're following recipes and And then you come up with the unknown, and in a class of 600 people, I was over top of them. And I get my mother to inspire me to bake and to cook and to follow a recipe. That's all I'm doing. So we're now going to do a please share. Those who not know, now let's share the names of those who want to take this. I'm going to start with Harvey Cohen. Harvey Cohen is in Northbridge Hospital again. He is having heart congestion issues. I talked to him yesterday, and he wasn't good spirit until he used to get on a couple of days. And I want to improve how to begin prayer. Let me begin the prayer. We should be able to clean up on the side. We'll be in so who you were have to leave. May he who blessed us. Yes, such as David and Isaac and Jacob, so blessed be upon Cohen and these whose names we will now share.
Phyllis, Belgrade Schroeder, and Susan.
Yeah. I already believe it.
Yellow and Shir. Mr. Peterson, my college, and you
Sam Kowalman, Megan Ross, Steve Kyle, John Stonemaker, Emma Stonemaker, Fran Stonemaker, Peter, having college.
Jane Jackson, sharp body bitter, the bestseller, and pictures. It's
On the wall, please wave at the camera. Wait.
Yes. Phyllis Schroeder, Fran Kabolnik, Sheila Hart, Phil Cooperman, Suzanne Mattioy, Judy Harper, and Janetta Wazana.
Thank you, Sam.
Sherry and Elliot Blank, Mark Suckman, and Fran.
Thank you. Anybody else on the wall or in the room? Get the names of you collected. I'm coming in. They continue to bestow upon these people for help and for vigor and restore them. I want to go others who are. And we're not going to say here prayers for the United States and for the state of Israel. Rahman, God bless the United States of America and protect her. And before we have a blessing for the state of Israel, I share with you from Stan Schroeder this information. Despite its small size, Israel is a global leader in bioconvergence research and development. With over 600 active medical device companies exporting a total of more than $1.5 billion, Israel is ranked fourth in the world for its groundbreaking multidisciplinary research. The Israeli bioconvergence companies, which specialize, for example, in combining biology, engineering, artificial intelligence, shell learning, machine learning, 3D printing, and so on. So amongst them who have revolutionized medical care are Precise Bio, which is the first company in the world to bioprint a fully functioning cornea in a paraclinical trial. Haifa-based NanoGhost applies bioconvergence in a different direction, programming nano-robotic drug delivery systems that can specifically target cancerous cells. 6 out of the world's top 10 pharmaceutical and biotechnology companies use CytoReason, a Tel Aviv-based company that uses computational models to simulate human disease on a cellular level. So Israel continues to lead the field in those areas. Let us join together as we rise in the blessing for the state of Israel. which keeps me lost in the mountain. Is our ocean, we make and Israel. We remain standing for Musaf. Get that out, get that out, we take the Page 22. Put our heels together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Eloheinu Abraham Eloheinu Yitzchak Eloheinu Eloheinu Rivka Eloheinu Adonai, Mechaye Hamek, Na Reishma, Na Kedishma, Kesosia, Tarpego, Mati Shin Shin Baba Godesh. Yes, ma'am. Shamre, 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 shama. Shamre, shama. Yes, ma'am. Shamre, 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 shama. Shamre, shama. They got the same conversation day. Shama. Ulam nispo. Pirang to Baha Shama. Yes, ma'am. Shamre, 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 shama. Yes, ma'am. I feel Ranti Tambo, Ranti Tambo, Girashto, Shabbat, and that Yami Moto Karata, they before we check our concluding prayers, we'll have some announcements from our president.
Shabbat shalom. Good, I just have to make announcements. I don't have to share. Owing to the intervention of Thanksgiving, there will be no Tish next week. I will not talk about thankfulness in that day. However, I am assuming there will be a Tish the following Thursday, December 1st at 7:30 p.m. via Zoom. I want to thank all of you who helped make Mitzvah Day another rousing success. We filled 216 backpacks, wrote cards as part of Operation Gratitude, collected Target gift cards. All in all, almost a pretty good day. We did not collect enough Target gift cards. We are way down from our tradition. And, but I understand things are getting better. Services, discuss this, gift cards, if you happen to, how to give gift cards with Rebecca, AKA Becky the Enforcer. Very important. It's the name of Shir Ami. We'll hold our annual member meeting on members, we have more than one, on December 7th at 8 p.m. here in Rita's room. The meeting will be preceded by a brief board meeting at 7:30 p.m., making it a true day of it. As president, I'm entitled to appoint two people to the board. If you want to be on the board, let me know. You're sending me a bag of Bragg's French burnt peanuts. Or it's the nice brand that they have at Walmart. Our next Shabbat service will be on Saturday, December 30th, 10:30 p.m. here in Rita's. And it will be the last Shabbat service here at 10:30 a.m. in Rita's room. Because our next, making things interesting, our last Shabbat service of 2022 be on December 17th in room 183, which was our pre-pandemic room. We figured that's where all our ark is, that's where all of our accoutrements are. And given our attendance, it shouldn't be. People have expressed concern about so many people in that room. But with the numbers we have, the only way we would ever have to come back to Rita's room is if somebody wants to sponsor another Shabbat lunch. So if you don't like room 183, you think we should come back to Rita's room. I ain't saying, I'm just saying. Also, far off in the future, April 30th is the Jewish World Watch, a walk to end genocide at Pan Pacific Park. Does anybody else have anything to add? Yes, Becky.
Santa can buy the card gift card for people. I'll buy herself and we'll buy card.
Sam can buy. Words to live by. Anything else? Shabbat Shalom. Go UCLA.
be seated. However, if you are in mourning or observing a yahrzeit, remain standing as we observe these yahrzeits for the coming 2 weeks. Therefore, Namli Bracha, may their memories be for a blessing. Brother Elias, Bruce Berman, Edward Halpern, Ruth Levine, Minnie Sitzer, Harold Granick, Leon Samansky, Francis S. Friedman, Rosalind Liverant, Roseanne Vision, Sam Granick, Fanny Goldstein, Frank Wolf, Simon Goldfarb, and Mandel Fritz. Are there names that I neglected? Other names?
I just want to mention Rabbi Jonathan.
Thank you. Other names? Morris Kaddish is on page 25. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shnei rabah. V'yalma dibrachi rutei v'yamlich machutei. V'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei l'chol beit Yisrael. V'agalav v'zman karim v'yamarim. Amen. Shnei rabah v'barach v'yamam v'chayei. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitroman v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yitalah. Shmei Dikudasha Berit. Lamin Kol Birchata V'Shirata Tush B'Chata V'Nechamata Da'amiran Di'Allah V'Imru Amen. Yemesh Lama Rabba Min Shemaya Chayim Aleinu V'Al Kol Yisrael V'Imru Amen. Oseh Shalom V'Roma Hu Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu V'Al Kol Yisrael V'Imru Amen. Please be seated. We have a Kiddush meeting after services. Thank you to all of those who continuously provide us with the Kiddush, coming early and shopping and preparing and setting up and cleaning up. And your work is realized, recognized, and very much thanked. We are going to conclude our service with the Don Olam. It's Helga, but she. Helga is also. Helga, thank you for. Let's join together in the singing of a Don Olam page. Happy Thanksgiving.
I wouldn't have known that
No. And the best black man.
Okay, thank you to those of you who joined us, and wish all of you a happy Thanksgiving, a Shabbat Shalom, and we will see you soon. Have a great week. Bye-bye.